turn me up. Having trouble leaving with you, all that I know. Contra, giving up. Think you tell me enough. You say I can feel it calling in the grip. Tie me up around it, I can tell it. No matter what I say, it's too late to fight. There's a fire in mine. Wonder what I did for all of this time. Contra, turn me up. Love the thought of leaving with you, all that Contra, give me up. Think you tell me enough. You think you tell me enough.
I'm reaching for the top, where the stars collide. Fought for what I'm worth, now it's my turn to shine. Started from the bottom, now I'm rising from the grind. Hustling through the darkness, vision clear in my mind. they grow. They doubted my ambition, said I never touch the sky. But my wheels are rocking and I'm ready to defy. Look at all these mountains, conquer each and every one. Came from nothing, now I'm here, witness how it's done.
Hello and welcome to Carson City, Battleborn. I am Ronan Richards, among the fencers among you. I'm already slipping up. Already. You better know me as the Rat King, and the individual next to me is...
Robin Nightingale, here with Sakima.
All right, welcome. It's good to be here. At least for me. I don't know about other people here.
It's a beautiful day here in Carson City.
That it is. It's always a beautiful day in Carson City. Every time I've ever been here. Nice blue skies, rolling hills.
I don't know, have you ever been here in the height of the summer?
Do the rolling hills go away?
No, but it gets really hot. So, folks, we are starting today off at 1 o'clock with Open Rapier.
That is right. People are currently checking in, having a bit of trouble, actually, because it would seem that they've got some silly rules. Not silly, but a little unusual. The rapier length limit is 41 inches, which seems a little interesting to me. We're going to have to ask Michael Forrest about that, the administrator of the tournament. He's going to be on the mic later, answer some questions.
I wonder why 41 was the cutoff. I guess we've already got one person who had a rapier that was 1 inch too long. So he had a 42-inch blade.
Yes, it is rather unfortunate. I've heard stories of people getting denied for a 1/4 inch.
Ooh.
It is strict over here.
And then what do you do at that point? You know, do you borrow a rapier from someone else?
Now, I would imagine so, but there's only so many rapiers in the building.
Yeah.
How many rapiers can you lend out? I don't know.
Suppose you could disassemble somebody's rapier, steal their blade, but then you still get the furniture.
Would you have to beat him in a duel to get that blade?
Oh, maybe.
I feel like that's kind of defying the point. That's why we're here. Anyway, welcome. It's a good day to later be fencing, but currently be commentating. Let's go over the rules a little bit. This tournament's got some unique rules that we should go over. First off, clean fencing indicator. We've got a rule in place so that every time you score a clean exchange, you get a point on your clean fencing indicator. And if you score a double, you lose a point. That and afterblows, too. So, you are incentivized to never ever double, never ever get scored afterblows against you.
People are saying we're...
And in exchange, if you have a higher clean fencing indicator, you get to win, I'm thinking doubles, a draw.
I think if it's if there's a dispute about who landed first or whether or not something hit, or whether or not you hit cleanly, then if your clean fencing indicator is high, then they're more likely to give you the point.
Is that right?
I think so.
I'm gonna have to if that's the case, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to ask Michael about that. Anyway, that and as you can see on screen currently, tiny rings. You may not be able to see exactly how big they are, but they're not big. And those lines, that's where people are starting. People do not start outside of these diamond-shaped rings.
Ooh,
They
that's very
start
close.
within, very close, within. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you
I
can
mean-
see a practice fight going on here.
It really, look at this. It really demonstrates just how small these rings are.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be fencing really cleanly, really, really tight.
One gathering step and a lunge is all it takes to get to your opponent on the other side of the ring.
You know, I wonder if they did that because sometimes you can get an advantage by really springing into the center of the ring and kind of like owning the center. Sometimes that's enough for you to score the point first. So maybe they're trying to reduce the travel time.
Yes, I do think it has something to do with getting fencers to immediately engage, to not take too long trying to get a positional advantage, and just get straight to it.
Get to the meat.
Get to the meat. Oh. Hold on, Robin. We are way up elevated, and my ears are popping.
Ooh.
I am not used to this atmosphere. This is not my habitat. Ah. Ugh. There we go. So we should be getting started here. People are, it looks like mostly gear checked. It doesn't look like somebody's behind the gear check station anymore. So, what am I being shown?
Yeah, I think there's exactly. It looks like there's one rapier left being weighed. And then the length being measured. I think there are only 2 people left behind them.
Just a handful.
So we're a tiny bit behind schedule, but almost there, and we will get to the pools of open rapier.
That is right. One more thing. Alongside the 41-inch limit for rapiers, we have a 3-point cut to head standard. So if you get a cut to head in rapier, you get 3 points, which is not usual. Usually in rapier, a scoring cut is almost always 1 point. But at this tournament, they're scoring it high. And especially with these close rings, it's getting close to a side sword-esque tournament. What do you think? Give me your personal opinion about this cut-to-head rule. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's a little odd to me that cuts below the arm are not counted. Like just straight
Yes.
to the torso, that seemed kind of strange to me. But I guess they're trying to encourage those overhead cuts that are, potentially easier to see and potentially cleaner. So just for reference, a clean strike means that you have struck your opponent and you have slipped away without riposte or reprisal. So that's a clean strike. And a dirty strike is when there's an afterblow. So your opponent has managed to tag you before you can close out your line and get out of there.
I'm curious to see how this under-the-arm cut rule ends up affecting how people fence, especially in conjunction with that 3-point cut to head. I mean, it's pretty usual to have cuts to torso, at least around here, not score. At our last tournament, it was an end of exchange, but not a scoring action. Here, it's nothing. If I'm correct, the rules say verbatim that you're supposed to ignore them.
Specifically cuts to the torso. I think to the neck and the head are still encouraged. It's the same for slices. And of course, for those of you who don't know, cuts are different than slices. Slices is when you make contact and you draw your blade across your opponent's, head, neck, torso, whatever it is, as if you're trying to slice open, their body. Versus a cut is something that passes by, basically. So you only cut them with the tip of your blade versus, you get 10 inches of blade against their body. That's a slice. And so it looks like slices have to be performed against the neck or head in order to count. They're not valid otherwise.
Not even against the arm.
Well, it doesn't look like it.
All right. It does look like we're going to see a very cut-centric rapier tournament. We might be surprised, but with these rules, I feel like there's only so many ways to fence it optimally.
Well, it looks like thrusts are highly encouraged because it's just if the point is moving forward and it contacts something, it will be considered a thrust, a valid hit.
The judges earlier, we missed the judge orientation, but it wasn't important. The judges were told that if a cut doesn't look good, and even if the fencer themselves self-calls it, if it didn't look good to you, just don't call it. It looks like a cut is going to have to have a nice authoritative arc to it for it to be considered.
At least 90 degrees of arc travel.
90 degrees.
Yeah.
That's a lot of degrees.
Yeah, it's not 45. You got to have that full swing in there.
Honestly, and this is just a guess. My money is on a Destreza style taking a bit of a dominant lean in this tournament rule set.
Yeah, it's possible. Destreza does a lot of cuts, but I mean, again, with the, it seems like they're encouraging thrusts because there are a lot more rules and restrictions with slices and cuts than there are for thrusts. It seems like you can do almost anything with a thrust and it'll land.
I know I'm harping a little bit on about this 3-point cut rule, but it's just so tempting when you've got that 3-point possibility for a cut. I feel like, at least for me, my hand kind of begs for me to take that white arc to get that cut in.
Your sword moves of its own accord, huh?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I just can't help myself. Come on.
It's magnetism.
Magnetism.
And it looks like, in addition to this, pommel strikes are not a scoring action for rapier. And
Okay.
yeah, I haven't
That
really
makes
seen
sense.
that very often with rapier. Anyway, it's much more common in longsword, so that makes sense to me.
I think that makes sense from a rules perspective. Though I don't think I've seen that before. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you would be much more likely to punch with, if you have a knuckle bow, protecting your knuckles, and that would be much easier to just punch him in the face or something like that, rather than getting your blade completely behind you and smacking him with
Though
a pommel.
That does disincentivize a very close grappling situation.
That's true. Yeah, it looks like grappling is not valid at all with rapier.
I feel like we might end up seeing some hand parries, some hand-on-arm grappling, but it doesn't look like we're going to see a lot of two-train-in-the-night rapier grappling situations like we tended to see. Honestly, I saw this a couple of years ago. That used to be a bit of a trend. Run at each other, grab each other,
Oh, God,
shank.
Yeah. Especially when you have a dagger in the offhand.
Oh, yeah.
God, they'd go straight for the dagger and just start shanking each
No,
other.
no remorse.
It was like, did you forget that you have a sword in your hand?
Long weapon means nothing. But I'm glad to see that's mostly faded away.
Yeah. I mean, it's not exactly very clean fencing.
I think people just got tired of it.
I think they just got really excited. They were like, oh, yeah,
At the
let's
time,
get
yeah.
together. Woo!
I mean, there's only so many times you get to see these other fencers at tournaments. You get excited. You see your friends. You want to get up close and shank them good.
It's a form of love in this sport.
Of course it is. Of course it is. There's no better way to express your friendly affection for another fencer than stabbing them repeatedly in the torso.
With armor on, of course.
With armor on.
If you don't do it with armor on, then
Usually.
you're just a jerk.
Yeah, for real. Okay.
Okay, I think gear check has been taken care of. It looks like judges are preparing to call out pools. We've still got some practice and warm-up going on all around the room here.
Honestly, it looks like most people are currently taking warm-up matches. Maybe they're just as eager to see how this unique rule set plays out.
And for reference, for those of you who are not familiar with most tournament rule sets, there are deep target and there's a shallow target. And deep targets are essentially it includes the torso, the head, the neck, and above the elbow, and above the waist. No, actually, I think it goes down to like mid-thigh, below the hips.
What does?
Deep target.
I don't know. I think thigh is shallow. I think
Okay.
shallow for rapier is all extremities.
Yeah. The legs are definitely in extremities. That's just like, where's the cutoff point, you know? Is it at the hip or is it higher?
I think it's usually at the hip. Belt level, I would say, is the general calling point.
I think crotch shots are still considered deep, though.
Is it? I mean, in this tournament, it's ignored.
Okay.
If we see a crotch shot, maybe they won't just end the exchange. Maybe that's the meta. Go for a deeper target from there. Anyway, later on is the broadsword tournament, and during that tournament, everything's deep target. All of it.
Yeah.
Yep. No such thing as a shallow target. There's a poster up front that's got a diagram. And it makes me laugh every year because they always use the same one. And it's just a guy completely highlighted in red with broadsword above his head. It's labeled deep target.
The whole thing.
I think except his feet.
Oh, I don't know. It might
Really?
be
It's just
even
all of
feet.
it?
Even toes. I mean, that's hard to get with a sword in the first place.
And you really shouldn't.
No.
If you're aiming for the feet.
You're exposing yourself so much by going for the feet. Oh my God.
That might come off as desperate too.
A little bit.
Might decrease
But-
your aura. You know?
I mean, if somebody's offering it to you, you know, it.
Right.
Maybe
If it's
take
right
it, but-
there. Then again, I don't see feet being offered up as a available target.
Yeah, it's
very
not very
often.
often that you see people going onto one foot. It's usually they have both feet firmly planted on the floor, or you know they have a heel up on one foot.
Maybe a Gesell effect, where push kicks are allowed.
Potentially.
Maybe.
I know that I've seen. There's one particular fencer that I've seen before. Her name's Forever. She does a really beautiful Meyer style of longsword, and she picks her feet up a lot. She does like some high knee kicks.
Oh yeah.
And it's so fascinating. I think it's almost like a stomp, but vertical.
It works.
So it freaks people out because they think she's gonna launch forward because that knee is up so high, but then she steps off to the side or something. So
I swear, man.
I think that's the only time I've seen a foot come off the floor like that.
That Meyer foot race, I will always stand by it. It works. It gets people confused. They don't know where you're going, and they think you're going somewhere.
Oh, we got a comment here from the OG Mike Show. He says, crotch should end the match. Well, sir, that's, sir or madam, that is why you wear a cup. They are required pieces of equipment. If you do not have one, you cannot compete.
I would be very surprised if a crotch shot did not end the match. There's got to be an amendment in there somewhere about ending the exchange. Maybe it's ending the exchange on an injury of some kind.
Oh, certainly, yeah. I mean, if you get injured, then yeah.
Right.
Normally, the person would call that and go like, "Oh God, I I got an injury. This is not good. I can't go on."
Or maybe we're misinterpreting the comment. Maybe the comment is saying that it should end the match, as in he's guessing that it does, not that it should, as in ideally it should.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we're the fools.
Yeah, you never know.
Ugh. Anyway, moving on. It looks like
Yeah, they're figuring something out. The judges are all at their tables, it looks like now.
yeah, we've got two directors having a little conversation. I feel like we're a second late. What?
Tim. Who's Tim? Tim last name what?
Just Tim. Any Tim.
Tell
We'll find it, Tim.
I said hi.
We'll find it, Tim. We can say it here. Hi, Tim.
Hello.
Unfortunately, I can't bring this microphone with me. Find Tim myself.
We're firmly planted here in the recording booth.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually stapled to this chair. Why are you laughing? You can... You're in on it. Come on.
No, we didn't use staples. We used nails.
Yeah. Recent upgrade, actually. I figured out how to get the staples out.
Yeah, he's a clever little rat.
Yep, that is true. Not clever enough for nails, though. An individual by the name of Andy Huang has stepped up to the table and is currently
making rude gestures at us.
making rude gestures at me specifically. What a rude guy.
So if you see that.
Wow. Do you wanna sit down and talk, big guy?
My fence turns, Hey, watch the screen.
All right.
You see that? That's a replay happening. That was a cool transition.
Okay. Looks like we're currently showing off the replay system.
All right. Looks like we're starting. Pools are being called.
All right. Pools are being announced. We will be starting as soon as people can organize themselves.
So pools will run until everyone has fenced. Is it at least twice or 3 times?
I don't know. Do they fence twice here?
I feel like you get multiple pool matches because you lose one, you win another one. Or
Yeah, but I feel like you fence each person once.
yes,
Yeah.
but each fencer fences multiple times.
Yes, yeah. It's dependent on the amount of people in the pool. I think each of these pools is four people. So that's 3 matches each fencer.
I feel like there are more people here than that. Is it really only 4?
They might just have a bunch of pools. They might just be running a lot of pools.
Well, we have 3 rings, and I don't know exactly how many pools we have.
Maybe we can get an answer on that. For now. Don't matter. Currently, we're watching what will soon be pool 1.
We're getting close, folks. Hold on. Stay tuned.
this is the part of the tournament where the tournament's in the starting process, but people just kind of stand around, chat a little bit.
It's the hurry up and wait sort of stage.
Oh, yeah. Actually, if you think about it, this is the most exciting, engaging, viewership-worthy part of the tournament.
No, it's not.
No, it definitely is. Come on, work with me here. Come on. I feel like we got confirmation on Tim. Tim
Guerneau? Is it French? Guerneau?
Guerno?
Guerneau?
Guire not, it would seem. I'll tell Tim that I couldn't pronounce his last name. If we can find him.
Ooh, here's an extra rule. I scrolled up a little bit farther. I'm just checking all the rules here. And it looks like blade grabs are forbidden in the rapier, which is pretty common. Blade grabs are permitted in the longsword tournament, so we may see that tomorrow.
Oh, all right. That's a bit surprising to me. Forbidden in rapier, but not in longsword.
I'm going to basically go to whichever match it starts from.
See, usually how that's done is it's based on whether or not your hand moves up and down the blade after you've grabbed it. But in this instance, no grabbing. I would assume that this is a safety concern above all else. What do you think?
Yeah, I would think so. And also just it's in the rapier, I feel like it's always been discouraged to grab the blade.
Yeah, a full grab.
Like you can push it lightly to the side, kind of deflect it with your offhand, but grabbing it, I don't know.
Grabbing it just doesn't have a lot of
It doesn't really have a lot of utility.
that and presence in the manuals. I don't see a lot of full blade grabs in the manuals unless you've already secured your opponent's blade.
Gotcha. So there's no real historical precedent for that.
It may just be an appeal to better technique.
Okay. Get behind that.
Yeah, that's respectable. I'll accept any rule that tries to push people in a better, cleaner fencing way of fencing. Perspective on fencing.
And there's an interesting note here about doubles. So blow after blow and doubles are sort of treated as the same thing.
Okay.
And after blows to low priority targets will be ignored if the opponent's strike was to a high priority target. So if they get a deep target and you get a low priority shallow target, then let's see. Yeah, your strike will be ignored and theirs will be awarded a point.
So what I'm hearing is,
And if they're both high priority, then the whole exchange is washed. No points.
here's what I think I'm going to see. I think I'm going to see some exchanges in which somebody goes for a cut to head, the other goes for a thrust. Both people just don't process it. Double.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there are a lot of doubles today.
Maybe even individual A recognizes that they can't parry a thrust, goes for a last-minute, last-ditch effort, cut to head, to avoid dying alone.
Okay, it looks like we've got ring one here. Two fencers, almost looks like they're lining up. Got our judge.
Louis says, blade grabbing just kind of uggo. Couldn't agree more. It is kind of uggo.
I feel like in longsword it can look pretty cool, but in rapier just
In longsword, I find that it's usually also uggo. But sometimes if it's done well, if you have the blade secured already, it can look very pretty.
Yeah, and then especially if you follow it up with like a takedown. which
Yeah.
I think takedowns are not allowed in this tournament, but
No, they are not.
I'm always excited to see one.
I feel like we'll see it anyway. Probably at some point.
Maybe.
My money's on it. We'll probably see a takedown. Maybe an unintentional one.
Possible. Okay, so we've got red fencer, blue fencer. Yeah. You can see by their armbands.
That is Jack Gassman and Isaac Humber. Two exceptional fencers.
Yeah. Isaac is basically, he's an instructor at Diamond Rose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Jack Gassman is also very highly rated.
Okay.
This should be an interesting first match.
Yeah. Starting off real strong.
We've already got a guest commentator coming up to speak. Sierra, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Excited to be here. Really excited to watch this upcoming match.
Now, you know Isaac Humber
Ooh,
personally.
already going.
Oh! Wow, okay, all right.
Getting right into it. Was that a ring out before there was a strike?
I believe,
According to the rules, you're not officially allowed to move your opponent out of the ring, so I'm not sure what the judges are going to call that.
yes. As I was saying previously, before that very explosive exchange,
Looks like maybe a cut to arm.
you know Isaac personally.
Yeah, he's compared this experience to childbirth in that you have a pretty rough go of it, but then you immediately forget and do it again.
I'm sure Isaac is a expert on the subject.
Okay, that looked like a cut to... cut to head. Yeah, Isaac landed a slice, it looked like. And Jack got the previous exchange.
Now,
I'm seeing some Destreza from Jack.
as I was saying before,
Ooh, that was a good thrust.
it looks like we're seeing Destreza as a dominant approach.
I think it's a fair tactic to choose, given that the rings are fairly small, and at least last year the floor was quite slippery.
All right. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know why, but this exchange. Oh,
They both stepped out there. I'm not sure I saw a clean strike.
Isaac may have kept a single foot in during that
Yeah,
exchange.
I did see that, yeah.
Jack's just going for it.
Match Isaac. Oh, I think we swapped the colors for some reason. Yeah, Isaac was in red, so they said match red. Yeah, it looks like we've got a misalignment with HEMA scorecard and what's going on here. Oh, they're not using HEMA scorecard.
Ted's working on it. We were given one set of colors to align with, and they're giving us another. It is what it is.
Oliver, our commentators today is Ronan Richards, known as the Rat King. I am Robin Nightingale here, and then we've got...
Sierra, the Peanut Gallery.
is that your official name?
Yeah, for quiet in the Peanut Gallery.
So I'm not sure if Marie is going to be joining us at some point during the day, but it's possible.
We could try and convince Marie. We'll send an envoy.
And Tawny, your comment about blade grabbing, could it be that it bends the blade? Is it possibly concerned with safety? Maybe, but I feel like a blade grab doesn't tend... like, rapier blades have a lot of bend to them, so I don't think it's a huge deal if that happens.
I feel like if a blade blend is a safety concern, then this is a very dangerous tournament.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay, so Jack, it looks like Jack's staying in the ring here. He's got a red armband now. You can't really see it against his jacket. Sorry, the colors are swapped on your screen. Against Julia Quash.
I hate to ask this. Oh, okay. Quatch.
Nice.
Okay. Saw a stab followed by a cut. Cut to head.
I think I saw blow after blow.
Yeah.
We'll see what's said.
That would be a high priority, low priority? Yeah, okay.
Well.
High priority was given to Jack.
Oh,
Good thrust.
straight down the line.
Yeah, as soon as you see that bend, you're like, whoop, yep, he scored a really big target.
Jack's not playing around. He's just going for it.
Bringing in a little bit of Fabris.
Yeah, I saw that sort of
Proceed with resolution. All right.
when you almost crouch to hide behind your blade, sort of.
You really do. The target that you're primarily offering is your head, the theory being that that's quite a small target to defend. Though his feet are he's a little upright.
Yeah, he's doing kind of a blend there.
It's really hard to commit to doing Fabris in a tournament. It's a little bit physically uncomfortable to maintain, and sometimes you sacrifice some mobility, depending on how strong your legs are, just to be that low.
Yeah, you gotta be in like a deep squat all the time.
You know,
And it looks funny.
It does look funny.
I think one of the judges said they didn't see the exchange there, so
Ooh.
it's currently at 6-6.
I would be a little hesitant to use something like Fabris in a tournament like this, especially when we're so close and those blades are so short. 41-inch max. Not exactly Fabris length.
Now, remind me, is Fabris, is that Italian? Or
Yes.
is that...
That it is.
It's a
Okay,
fairly
gotcha.
early period Italian.
Okay.
So you're working with a lot of momentum, not a lot of an incentive to disengage. Also not a lot of incentive to parry.
All right. It looks like Jack's taking a little bit more of a conservative approach.
Yeah, he could get it tied up pretty quick.
Yeah, I saw a thrust there. I'm not sure if I saw an afterblow.
We'll see what the judges have to say.
Looks like they might be giving the point to Jack. Oh, nope, washing the exchange.
I think that thrust was parried with the hand. I feel like that's what that sweeping hand motion was from the director.
Both fencers getting a little bit more amped up now.
Oof, that was really dirty.
Julia delivers a very long, well-delivered transport, but doesn't quite stick the the thrust afterwards.
Well, there's just no room to.
She did get quite close and was unable to deliver a cut.
So close.
Oh,
Ooh, right,
Oh.
right in
almost
there.
a flash.
Now, was that
I
low
think he-
priority target? Was that arm or hand? Or did she strike torso? Oh no!
I thought he almost sent his hips back and was able
Okay.
to deliver a thrust.
No, it looks like they gave that to Jack.
Yeah, there's a fair height disparity there, and I don't believe she got her arm out quite quick enough.
All right. That is match red on the screen. Jack is in blue, but
The match does go to Jack.
I guarantee you he is red.
Yeah, the armband just blends in perfectly with his jacket. It's the same color, that nice ox blood.
Now we're swapping Julia's armband.
Ah, she was she was right, and now she's the wrong color. Sorry about that, folks.
Wesley Wells is an incredibly cool name.
Oh yeah.
Wesley Wells rolls off the tongue.
I wonder if he loves or hates the Princess Bride because his name's Wesley.
I wonder if his parents had any idea when they named him. Could be name determinism, like having a Mr. Tooth who's a dentist.
Yeah.
Name determinism.
Yeah, see, I didn't think that was a thing, but I got named Robin, as in Robin the bird, not with a Y, and I love birds.
I got named Ronan, and now I'm here.
Yeah, as a fencer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a lord, Ronan, or are you lordless?
By definition, I am lordless.
Okay.
He's a wanderer.
Ronan has to have no lord.
Seeking
think.
honor
Y-
without a lord. An honorable death. That's all you can
Yeah.
hope for.
That's why I'm here. Eventually, somebody's going to pack the wrong rapier, stick me with a sharp.
Oof.
It'll make a cool story on my tombstone.
Okay. Looks like they're checking his gorget, his neck protection. Is it gorget?
It's
Gorget?
definitely gorget.
It's
Yeah.
definitely gorget. I'm
I've
not
heard
going to
people
call
say
it that, though.
gorget. Like,
Gorget is like a running joke.
okay.
I'm still calling it gorget. I'm
Yeah.
not going to stop calling it gorget.
Helmet gorget. That's how it works.
Oh, it looks like our colors are correct now.
Yay!
Everyone cheer. Wow. Incretata right off the bat.
It doesn't look
Yeah.
like either of... Oh,
That was an underhand cut. That was nice.
That was like a golf swing where you're going off bounds. No, it was an Incretata-ish.
Looks like they gave it to him.
Yeah.
That's being scored as a thrust to chest, I believe.
Hmm.
That looked like a cut to chest to me.
It might be scored the same way, though.
No, it's ignored. It's under the arms.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Nope.
That almost looked like, what is it, Tybalt? No.
One of those fencing guys.
There are so many. There's Capofero, there's Tybalt, there's Fabrice.
All the same. Come on. What's the difference?
They're very different. I don't know what you're talking about.
I love agitating people. Anyway,
I don't read.
I can't read. Never learned. Never will. Anyway.
Oh.
Oh. He did a blade grab. Well, it might have
No,
been
I
a
think
hand grab.
Yeah, he totally either grabbed guard or hand in that.
Okay. Looks like they might have washed that.
Oh.
Okay. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
Both fencers opting not to use blade contact. In fact, to avoid blade contact at all costs.
And for reference, blade contact can actually give your opponent a lot of information about where your sword is and how much pressure you're applying. So occasionally, it's the better strategy to give your opponent nothing rather than, letting them know where your guard is.
Very French of them. Very French of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks like Wesley Wells, in that last exchange, went for a cut to arm and maybe got hit with a thrust to chest instead.
So
Yes.
they gave that
That's what I
point to
saw,
Julio.
yeah. If anything happened there, I thought it was a cut underneath the arm.
Director says double. Judge says thrust to chest. Well, she.
Maybe they had a better angle.
Maybe. I wasn't there.
Ooh, winner Julia. Okay, I guess they gave her the 3 points there.
Yeah-huh. No, I believe that might have been a timeout situation because Battleborn does not stop the clock for calls. Time can run out during a call, and that's it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, each match is 120 seconds, I believe, rather than the usual 90. And I think that's why they gave that extra 30 seconds in there.
Yep.
Yeah, and we unfortunately don't have the timer up. The way they're recording the time is, I think they're just using stopwatches.
Yep, they
So that-
are just using stopwatches.
So we unfortunately can't have that digitally for you.
We can guess. You can get our semi-professional opinion.
Big Destreza moment.
Low priority cut by blue or to blue?
It looks like 2 blue.
To blue, okay. Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, we got the names wrong again, I think.
They moved people around again.
Ooh, that looked like a double to me.
Yeah.
I think blue had something with significantly higher quality.
And low quality blows at the same time as high quality blows. I think the high priority targets are awarded points and the low priority ones are not.
Yes, this is true. Can confirm.
I believe that one was a double, though.
Looked like it.
Yeah.
So they might have both been high
Just
priority, in which case they neither of them got
Definitely both
points.
high priority. Blue's attack, I think, was of higher quality.
Looks like Jack just self-called a cut to head.
I didn't see that though.
Yeah, he just brushed the side of his head. Good on her.
Okay. They're calling that as high priority. Okay. We love to see self-calling. It's good practice.
Definitely. This is still very
Oh.
early. He's got lots of time to make it up.
It looks like Jack just fell on that.
Yeah, you might have just jumped right into it.
Yeah.
That is the consequence of having such an aggressive style. He seems to be very persistent on this rush forward. No gap, no stop style until it stops working. And he takes this more conservative approach that he's taking now.
It's actually pretty rare to see a fencer change mid-match like
He's
that.
thrown us 3 things consistently. He's come out with Destreza, he's switched to Fabris, and then he has switched to this lower guard, a slightly more defensive parry first system.
Interesting.
All right. That's high priority red.
Oh.
Oh,
Self-call, I think.
self-calling.
Okay, high priority red, low priority blue.
Good honor. Aww.
Still, match blue. Wesley took that.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done, Wesley.
All right, Julia
that was
stepping back in.
That was another time run out. Because normally the match stops when somebody reaches 7 points, I think.
They get 7 points ahead.
Yes, 7 points of difference. Sorry. You're correct. Oh, Isaac's back in the ring. With Julia this time.
Now, this is going to be a tough match for Julia and a tough match for these fencers if they don't step out of the way of the camera. I'm going to start throwing rocks at them. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there we go.
Nice camera angle change. Excellent.
There we go.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, it's a little bit brighter. See a little better.
Julia's got that first point. But Isaac makes it up with a high priority strike.
His strikes are so calm and gentle.
Setting up a nice expulsion, waiting patiently, and then using his offhand.
Nice, just keeping that sword off of him.
He went pretty far back.
Interesting. I wonder what they'll rule that.
Now,
No, no exchange. Okay.
I'm glad that we're starting off on a pool that includes Isaac because we get to show off some of the top tier fencers that are competing here.
I believe he took it home last year with gold.
Is
I
that
would-
right?
I
I would not be
surprised.
surprised.
He's incredible. His precision and technique. Perfectly defended himself that entire time. Ooh, okay. He got another cut to head there. He's now Isaac at 6 and Julia at 1. She's going to have to really, really pull it out of here.
I think Isaac's got it figured out.
Ooh. She got his hand there, but unfortunately hands are not valid targets in this tournament.
The offhand, I believe, is a valid target. The sword hand is not. Just to
Oh.
disincentivize thrust through complex guards.
Okay.
I think you can still be stapled, I believe.
Yes, a staple would certainly still be counted. Oh,
And I believe any action to the offhand is okay.
so it looks like Julia got one last point there, but Isaac took it.
All right. Isaac staying in.
Sorry, I cut you off there, Sierra.
Oh, no, not at all. I was done.
Wesley steps in.
Okay, nice on-guard stance. Very cash.
That's very Saber-esque
Oh,
from Wesley.
nice too. All right.
I feel like we're going to see some...
Oh.
Yep, some cuts.
You called it.
Is that a windless sword?
Maybe.
Oh, my goodness. See,
Not sure what he was trying to do there. A little beat to the hand with the short edge. It was very strange.
I think he was trying to provoke a rushed action.
he's hanging out in his invite, probably ideally expecting to be able to do a parry too, which is a very strong parry, but Isaac isn't giving it to him.
Yeah, Isaac just took that thrust immediately.
Isaac trying some beats, see if he can disrupt his opponents.
I believe Wesley is taking an intentionally Saber-esque guard for this tournament specifically. I think this is an attempt to take advantage of the cut-centric rule set. I know I'm still talking about it, but come on. I feel like that's what we're going to be seeing today, is a lot of people trying to take advantage of that very thrust-leaning, but
I feel like
cut
Isaac's just not
accepted.
having it.
No, he's not.
Somewhat in the Reno meta, I think people are pretty prepared to deal with this kind of rule set and take advantage of it. But
Isaac seems to be handling it well. It doesn't seem like this is too much of a problem for him.
no, as a shorter fencer, I have never felt like this rule set biases towards cuts that strongly, but that is also because a lot of people's heads are far away from my arm.
Yeah.
Now, for somebody like me, where everybody's head is below my arm,
Oh man!
Of course you would go to the cut.
dream.
come on. What else am I supposed to do?
Ooh, we're at 6-6 now. All
Oh
right,
wow!
all right. Wesley's doing really well.
Tawny Spenst says, is it possible to peek at Nightshade's match when it comes up?
We will
Yes.
do our best. I think he's in ring 3 right now. I can see him in the distance there. Match red.
All right, we'll cut over to Nightshade now.
Whoa! Oh, his name going off.
Yeah, it's Douglas Nightshade Leonard, by the way, in case you can't see it.
Comically long name.
Doug.
Yeah, he's in the longer tan doublet there.
I'm surprised
Signature.
Douglas is included in his name.
Yeah, he usually just goes by Nightshade.
It took me 3 years before I realized that Nightshade's name was not Nightshade always.
Took me a long time to learn that it was spelled with a Y
Yeah.
and an A and then an E.
Yeah, I thought he scored a cut to the arm there, but maybe
Ooh.
not. If nothing else, Nightshade is incredibly fun to fence against.
Now, Nightshade is a bit on the older side, and his opponent currently is Amelia Crate from
That is a deep target.
Up in Oregon, right? I might be wrong about that.
yeah, from Lonan. That's right.
One of the younger fencers.
He's very fast.
Whoa. Nightshade can also be quite fast when he needs to be.
Yeah,
he is.
he
He's a
just-
fast guy.
He just retreated like twice, just perfectly out of her range. That was really cool to see.
He does have excellent measure.
But it
and
looks
an
like
excellent
Emil-
use of tempo changes. Looks like Amelia took it home, though.
That youth giving you just a little bit more speed.
Youth and enthusiasm.
Youth and enthusiasm. All right. Now we got
Dre and Kevin. Ooh, nice.
Okay, yep, we've got Kevin Murakoshi.
Marikoshi. Yes.
Yu-Chan, yeah, we've got that up on the screen. Yeah.
Currently number 2 in the world, I believe, in Rapier.
Really?
Kevin, yep. Is that correct? Yep. Got confirmation from Ted.
I have to excuse myself for a minute.
Oh, of
I am
course.
supposed to be coaching. He's currently doing
Thank
a
you for
bout.
joining us for now.
Thank you so much. I'll try to be back.
Ooh, that was
Oh.
a nice stab. Yep. Yep.
So
that was a
succinct.
deep target to the torso. 3 points.
No fluff.
Another one.
Ah,
I'm back.
you're
Amy
back.
is being supported quite well by Ted, who is one of our more experienced team of fencers in Diamond Res.
Ah, okay. Good, good.
All right.
Awesome. This is Maddie versus Douglas. Maddie's one of our Diamond Rose fencers.
And it's over. That's just how good he is.
We missed it.
Too goated.
And Amy, awesome.
Okay, so we're swapping over to ring 1 here.
Amy is similarly one of our newer Diamond Rose
Alec
fencers.
just won too.
Alec the Honey Badger. Yeah, he's from Sakima.
Go Sack.
He's easily the shortest fencer I've ever been up against.
I was wrong about Kevin. Apparently, he's only at number 4.
Oh, no.
What a plebeian, am I right, guys?
To only be number 4 in the entire world. Oh. What will you ever do?
I smell beef jerky.
All right, match red. Good on Amy for competing, though. It's hard to step into the tournament arena when you've just started.
It really is, but she's fearless, so.
Hell yeah, I hope to see more of her.
I believe you will for women's small sword.
Ooh.
Now, remind me, when is Women's Small Sword taking place?
I believe it's tomorrow morning.
I
Tomorrow
believe
morning.
It's tomorrow afternoon.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
Somewhere around 2.
Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Do tune in for that.
Oh. Was that a disarm or was that an accident?
That's taking advantage. Okay.
Okay, it looks like they give that one to Kevin.
Yeah, disarms are awarded in this rule set. You do achieve a certain number of points.
Yes. Yes, but it's only if you retain your weapon and you completely disarm your opponent.
So real.
Not allowed just to throw your sword on the ground and yoink, take theirs.
No, throws are definitely not allowed. I think Kevin took that again.
Yep.
He cut around. Okay.
Kevin went just a little bit too high there.
There's a cut to arm.
That yielding action and then cut seems to be something that a lot of people have very dialed in. And
It works,
prepped.
especially if you can get a nice quick parry in afterwards.
Oh, did they wash that exchange or did they give 1 point to Kevin?
Kevin's waving it off. Doesn't want it.
Good on him.
We're at a time stoppage, I believe.
Out of time? Blue got a high priority cut.
Oh.
That's not going to be enough, though, not to take a lead.
Oh. Yeah, I was like, that jumped a ridiculous amount. Mathematically improbable.
I think I saw it's almost simultaneous.
I think I saw Kevin deliver a thrust to a high priority target.
Yep.
Possibly receiving a cut to the arm.
Patrick is self-calling. So is Kevin. And that's the end of the match.
Well done. Yeah, Kevin's quite incredible. He was teaching earlier today, actually.
Kind of goated for real.
There were some classes before the tournament began, and it was nice to watch him run people through drills.
It was fun to participate in them.
Oh,
He's one good teacher.
He's excellent.
where does he teach? Remind me.
Where does he teach?
Where doesn't he teach? He's flying to conferences all the time.
Oh, okay.
But
all
I
around.
think for this specifically, he was doing Italian pedagogy, so things in the Goggler system.
Oh, never heard of it.
Crazy. Actually, good on you. I really like it. It's a fairly effective way to get a lot of good, smart fencing actions in your brain in a short amount of time, but it can be the opposite of fun. But winning is fun. So it makes up for
Okay.
it. You suffer temporarily, and then all of a sudden your disengages are like really small and fast and well timed and well placed.
Okay. Okay, so we're back on Amy. Amy in red and Eric in blue. Looks like Eric is running away with it.
I fenced Eric this last weekend at Tostetti.
Yep, match blue.
He's a very effective fencer. He's also a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's, the two don't always go hand in hand.
No, but he makes pretty smart and metered fencing choices. Very rarely does he choose an action that's like overly aggressive or overly large for
Oh,
the
the judge is
context.
right in front of the... Couldn't see any of those exchanges.
I did see a wheeling cut, just from the elbow, not humongous, that Nightshade delivered, but it doesn't look like any points were awarded for it. It may have been blocked by Ryan. Oh.
Now, what I like about this tournament is it's intentionally mid-size. They don't want to make it any bigger. And because of that, you get some of the same, some new, but usually rather experienced or simply talented fencers coming out each year. Not a lot of double-centric kind of gamey fencers showing up to a tournament like this.
I think there's also good representation from 3 different areas. Diamond Rose usually brings a fairly large contingent of students, and then there is Sakima, who attends with quite heavy numbers, and then there are local Reno fencers as well.
That is right. This tournament is firmly planted in the California HEMA tournament circuit. If you're not considering Battleborn, then you're not considering the full circuit.
It is kind of far away from the bay, though.
A little bit, but it's worth the drive.
Do we have anyone from On Guard here today?
Maybe,
Good
maybe.
question.
I hope so.
Eric is definitely from the bay. There are almost certainly a few others.
Oh, it looks like... Did Ryan take that? Yeah, it ended with at least 3 points Ryan and 2 for Nightshade.
Nightshade, if
Can't hear very well. The pool ring number 3 is kind of far away from us.
it is a bit of a distance. We can kind of see it vaguely in the distance, but it's happening a little bit outside of our immediate view. Nightshade's pools do not seem to be going perfectly. If he gets into eliminations, he's going to have some tough initial opponents.
All right, we've got Amelia in red here and Maddie in blue.
Madeline.
Parries. Nice parries.
Yeah, she's really closing off her lines there. Not letting
Fantastic.
anything in.
We're not going to
Oh.
mention Buckmaster as a last name. That's awesome.
She might love that joke, and I can't believe none of us have ever come up with that before. Nice. Good feint.
Buckmaster.
Oh, did that thrust land?
No, I believe it was intended as a feint, but I also think that exchange was safe.
Oh, it looks like the tip of her sword is kind of bent. I might
might
call
wanna
it
check.
safety on that.
I'm not really. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
now you can see it.
Oh.
Ooh, okay, she got that thrust.
Mm-hmm.
Good connection.
Excellent.
Good use of the offhand, too.
Yes.
Amelia almost got that. She's just so fast.
She's really going for the angles there. You can see her kind of moving side to side, trying to get the angle on that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that another point? Yep. It's another 3 points for Amelia.
Just sneaking ahead. And I believe that was a time call as well, right?
Yichen
Yeah, because
says.
it's not quite 7 points, so of difference.
Yichen says. When is Kevin's pool? Now. You missed it.
Oh, no, we already put that on.
Yeah.
Tune back in for Elim, Zichan.
Oh, we're swapping back over.
Oh,
There he is again.
Yeah. Now.
There you go. Against Spencer Copenhaver.
This is his first HEMA tournament.
Wow, go Spencer!
Yay, go Spencer!
How old is he? He looks really young.
I think he's 19.
Oh, wow.
He might be old. He might be older than that, but I think he's under 21.
I love whenever anybody decides to fence in jeans in any context.
That is a Diamond Rose classic. Ignore the fencing format. The real Diamond Rose classic is wearing denim. I hate it.
Sport jacket, denim,
I hate
goated. Outfit of the year.
Chafing.
Just for reference, folks at home, denim is not great to fence in because you don't get a lot of
They
flexibility
don't
in your
lunge
knees.
far enough. If you're
Yeah.
not Italian fencing 101, if you're not ripping the pants out of your jeans when you lunge, you're not lunging far enough.
Maybe ripped jeans is the new Hema meta.
Well, you'd have the rip in a pretty awkward
It's
place,
like-
I think.
The shorts are kind of meta because it's like nothing is stopping in like the knees, nothing is constraining them, and you get some heat ventilation. But
We need some more LA fencers so we can get some
that's okay.
incredibly baggy jeans.
I think some jorts next year maybe. Split the
yeah.
difference.
Oh, yeah. No, that's exposed skin.
Not if you're wearing long socks.
Oh, true.
Or like do what runners do, tiny shorts, long leggings.
I think that was a pretty strong
The meta might be thigh highs.
cut.
Let's be real.
Obviously. Or maybe a small cut? Yeah, low priority cut. To, I think, the wrist or the forearm? Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Was that a thrust ahead? Cut ahead?
I didn't see it that way, but it looks like the director knows better.
Was that 1 point to Patrick? I think it was.
Oh.
A lot of distressive cuts there.
That did not look like Distressa to me. That looked like Saber.
Some good Milanese. Dre's trying some changes of engagement, or at least some actions to kind of confuse when he's going to do that thrust or cut.
Or cut.
Or cut, yeah. If your
Next
opponent's
action's
hand
going to be a cut,
travels
I guarantee
really
you.
high-
Yep.
Oh, good block. I wouldn't want to get hit by those either.
Yeah, they look really strong.
Patrick looks a little tense.
But
But
he took
did
it.
take
Oh.
it home by quite a bit. Tense isn't necessarily bad if you've got like the hand strength to carry your way through it.
I know I don't.
I know I don't either.
My wrists are like spun glass.
I've got strong wrists, but I've got long fingers, and those fingers get tired.
All right, Spencer and Jure. Awesome.
Now, do we know if that's an intentional WarioWare mask?
No, that was nice. They shook hands.
Maybe.
Honor above all.
All right. Moving to a different match. Alec Villanueva versus Eric Zhang. Oh, yeah.
Some pretty.
So for those of you who don't know, you can see on his mask there, Alec has a honey badger painted on there. And that is because honey badgers,
Are low to the ground.
Yeah,
And very ferocious.
they're extremely ferocious. I've seen videos of them going up against cougars and lions and winning. They do not give a flying F.
You set me up so well for 2 jokes about Alex's love life. I'm not going to make either of them.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
no.
Appreciate it.
Literal cougars, not the human kind.
Oh, a little bouncy.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of testing there.
Yep, neither fencer's committed yet, though they are inching closer and closer with measure.
Once Alex sees that line, he's going to jump for it. Watch him.
Yeah, he's just waiting.
He looks like he's pretty forward-weighted, yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
not
he's-
anticipating a flush or anything coming from it. He's
No,
usually pretty
but he's
geared
gonna-
with his lunges.
He's going to go deep.
Yeah, I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's doing a lot of gathering steps in anticipation of doing a really deep lunge.
Mm-hmm. At that height, if you want to get in on almost anyone, taking a gather while you parry or advance
was.
is just
Yeah.
a better option.
Yeah, he has to do such
Hugging
deep
it out.
lunge.
Good job.
I'm disappointed we didn't get to see the rush in there. Kind of obscured by Eric's
High
back.
priority blue? Is that what they're calling? Yes. Okay. Alec must have gotten the lower priority target.
Oh. I did see some blade bend coming from Eric. I'm not sure if there's any scoring action prior to that.
It looks like Alec is jumping the gun a little bit.
Eric is extending his blade a fair amount. It's possible that Alec
No
could
exchange?
gain it and then try a similar technique.
Oh, match blue. I guess they ran out of time.
That was a very exceptionally long first exchange.
I'm pretty happy with exchanges where people feel out their opponents for a while. I think it can help you make some good decisions when you fence, and you don't need to be far ahead in points for this tournament. They don't carry over, so someone who gets 7 points, for all 3 of their matches isn't any higher place than someone who just gets 1 but wins every time.
Really?
But there is
I believe so, right?
there is the clean in fencing
There
index.
is CFI. So the more exchanges you have, the higher your CFI can potentially be. One perfect exchange and then great defense is like ostensibly meta. Historical meta. You don't want to die.
I do like the subtle implication that the clean fencing indicator is incentivizing you to just beat up opponents.
Not at all. It's incentivizing you to beat up your opponents safely.
Yeah, of course. But if you get a bunch of 1-point
If you can
scoring actions,
Go out there and club seals.
you can kind of farm it.
But it doesn't. It only advantages you if you make it to finals and then tie up, right?
Right.
It is a bit situational, yes.
It doesn't affect your overall anything else.
Do you know
including-
how they're making the eliminations? Is it just like the top, 15 fencers or something?
I do not know at all. I do think that if you get a negative CFI, you should be booed. You should
Yeah,
announce your
yeah.
name. People should go boo.
We should throw tomatoes. We should have tomatoes on hand. Oh,
You should put a fart spray in their mask.
oh God. All right, maybe that's a little bit too much.
Ooh, did Alec manage to deflect that with his offhand, or did it connect?
And speaking of Fabris,
He may have brought it on. It stinks for him that low line shots in general, leg, crease of thigh or crease of hip or below is 1 point only. It's
truly a shame.
He can still get those torso shots, though, so he has to go for thrusts mainly.
yeah. All of his if he's doing a secondary action like a cut, it's going to be pretty challenging for him to get something. No, he might as well just go low and commit with a cut to the leg.
True, yeah.
So true,
Oh,
Bestie.
no.
So true. Oh,
Got that. I think
There he is.
Figured out that's what I want. He's a little bad. Oh my gosh, badger.
Honey Badger going crazy. Go crazy, go wacky, go stupid.
They're watching the exchange, though, I think.
No. Hey, getting low is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, most fencers aren't used to it. They're used to, like, being really upright and really pushing their chest out. So when you
Yeah.
go low, it's sort of like, oh, how do I even compete with that?
Am I supposed
What
to
do I do?
find their sword when it's down by my knees?
Yeah, what do I do?
Can't bend mine. You think it comes from longsword, Ronan? Like the very straight leg, almost square that we see quite a lot?
Maybe. It may come from a tendency to square off in longsword, but honestly, if you want my personal opinion, you shouldn't be doing that often all the time in longsword anyway.
I agree. I think for some extent, tall people want to stay tall. They're used to finding those high angles and stuff, so there's sort of a competing arms race of tallness almost. We should introduce high heels as a meta next year.
Introduce.
Yeah, POV, you roll your ankle.
What do you think I'm wearing to class?
Okay, looks like that went to Alec.
All right, Alec. Oh, you know what I haven't seen much of? I haven't seen stopping shots to the arm, which in this tournament, if you've got good point control, it is a fantastic shot to do because shots to the bicep are 3 whole points and it's a relatively shallow target.
What? Shots to the bicep at 3 points?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
above the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
If you get it in the pocket
I
and
like
your
that
judge
rule.
likes you, you will get 3 whole points. Though
Yeah, and you're
it
just.
can be a little bit risky.
Is that called an arrest?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, okay.
Performing an arrest like that is fantastic, in my opinion, as an action.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps you fairly safe. Sometimes your opponent may
Match red.
force all the way through it if they are, very, very strongly committed.
But you've already got the point there.
You have ideally arrested their action, stopped their motion, and done it at one of the earliest tempos that you can.
I'm going to
Yeah.
guess if somebody impaled me with an object through my arm, I'm not going to be able to finish my thrust.
I think you should
No,
be
no,
dropping your sword and screaming in pain. Or at least
Ooh.
the muscles of your hand.
We're
would give
swapping
out.
over to Lizard.
Amazing.
A lizard. I call her a lizard Pedersen. Looks like she won that match. Hell yeah. For some reason, I forgot that she was competing in Rapier. She's usually in longsword and smallsword.
Whoa, Isaac Hicks. Did you guys know that he's...
Whoa!
Whoa!
Did you guys know that this is the 4th worst rated rapier fencer in the world?
Excited.
Practically a celebrity. Couldn't get any lower. Or maybe he could. Let's see if he loses this match.
We'll see what happens today.
What
He
was
might
he
become
trying to-
extremely easy to find. Oh, just go all the way to the bottom. Look at the very last name. Is he
Honestly,
calling
I
a
think he's
touch to
going
toe?
for it.
I feel like Christopher tried to go for half sorting almost.
Oh no, he's using my sword.
Oh
Christopher,
no.
I believe.
Better make sure he doesn't damage it.
Nah, it's fine.
So fill me in on this 4th worst fencer thing.
Yep, Isaac Hicks.
I'm not
Isaac
privy
is
to this.
actually a fantastic fencer who has, I would say, generalized anxiety.
Great fencer.
Not to put anything out there, but
Not the best ranked.
I've
So
definitely
maybe-
experienced a lot of nervousness in fencing that kind of nerfs my decision making in tournaments.
Gotcha. So you kind of freeze up.
I haven't necessarily. Yeah, I certainly do. Especially if someone puts their own arms over their head like a bear, it totally gets something in me. I'm like A small animal.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, if you like POV, you want to make Sierra freeze in a fencing match, you want to make me actually cower, maybe even scream. Yeah. Like arms up, quite scary.
Flare your jacket out, make you.
Yeah,
big.
actually, do the thing that like birds do.
So, see, that makes me think that you're some kind of mountain lion.
No, I'm like a small prey animal. I'm like the rabbit that sees a hawk and just goes. I wait for. All right, I think I saw Isaac do a cut under the arm. I'm not
Yep,
sure if that's
went
gonna be-
straight for that cut onto
But
the
I
arm.
think cuts under the arm are not counted.
Then-
Nope, they don't
It
go-
looks like
oh!
he got a thrust to the mask. though.
Nice.
Oh, hopefully they.
It looks
acknowledge
like
that
the
that was not
Stephen's
double.
blade went through the guard of Isaac.
Yep.
And that's how he was
No.
able to ride it all the way in.
That stinks.
Yeah, that's the one drawback to having one of those fancy sort of.
Yeah, a little bit of lightness potentially. Oh, very nice.
Oh.
Good.
See, they're going
Isaac
into
is
that half
not
sorting
bad
again.
At all at grappling.
Isaac
so I
Hicks.
can see him wanting to bring that in.
He may be 4th worst rated at rapier fencing. We don't know his wrestling rank.
Yeah.
Oh, he did a slice there.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yeah, cut one to
nice.
back of the neck.
I
Wonderful.
haven't seen one like that before, where he just laid it on and then pulled it, sliced
Yeah.
all the way. That was lovely.
Isaac is a little bit of an interesting blend of like German and French fencing. He can be pretty heavy in the bind, really likes that slightly forward-weighted, nice, excellent expulsion.
Yeah, great
Oh.
disarm. He fully disarmed him.
Fantastic. Hey,
Holy
that's
crap.
French School Diamond Rose coming through. Also, the wrestling, also everything else. But yeah, that one, he's demoing that it was a very, you'll see Isaac Humber pull this off in tournaments pretty often. If your opponent goes kind of passe to you, especially if their hand is supinated, or what's when your pommel is up above your wrist, and your arm is open.
I
It's quite easy to take and lift the pommel out. Though
Gotcha,
Isaac
yeah.
is definitely strong enough to do it either way.
He might not be 4th worst for long.
HEMA ratings are a lie.
Good.
Isaac
There we
is
go.
actually
3 points
a
for
great
that.
fencer. Good job.
That's a win.
He deserved it.
That's awesome. Winning on a disarm is gorgeous.
Especially a good disarm.
That was
Mhm.
clean. It was beautiful.
No need for force.
Yep.
Just took it.
Just took it.
It's like nothing but net, baby.
That's going on the YouTube.
Yeah.
We are in a basketball gym.
Ooh, we're swapping over to Rochelle DeBolt. She is #1 in women's longsword, so we'll see where she is in rapier.
I believe she's pretty well ranked overall.
I would consider #1 in the world for URG longsword as pretty well ranked.
In other events as well.
With that arm up, I believe that's a carryover from broadsword, where Rochelle is also very well ranked.
Amazing.
Nice clean lunge. Got that nice bend in the sword.
We got some Rochelle fans in the chat, or at least Rochelle fan.
They're calling no exchange on that.
That's awesome. She is retaking constraint after Sage's blade actions and waiting for a good time to do a counter attack.
Did that cut to the head land? I feel like it did.
Rochelle is a bit of a force. It's hard to get Rochelle to back up because Rochelle doesn't really need to often.
No, yeah. She's also very, very safe right now. She's maintaining a pretty dominant blade position, denying that initial line.
Yeah,
that was
she's
excellent.
Really controlling the center.
Yes, she is.
I did see a thrust to torso from Sage, though.
I don't think that made it through. I think that was too far away.
I think it was
Didn't
just a
quite
bit
hit.
short.
Yeah. It looked almost like it could have been a feint. or
okay.
potentially a full committed thrust, but there was a little slip.
Oh, and I think that's match red automatically. She's got more than 7 points against Sage. So that match goes to Rochelle.
Good job.
Yippee.
And we got Piper coming up against Sage.
How do we think we'll pronounce that last name? Do we know? I don't know.
Merker?
Merker. I would assume.
Apologies if that's wrong, Piper. We try our best. You're right, April. Sage is a cool name, too.
Sage is a cool name.
Could be the plant. Could be the wise man. You don't know. Could be both. Could be the color. I love sage green.
According to Michael Forrester, it seems like the tournament is ahead of time, which is good.
Awesome.
Very, very unusual for a historical fencing tournament. Usually we are quite notoriously behind at time.
Yeah, that actually happened at Battleborn, too. It was just excellent judging, very efficient with their use of pools and number of fencers, and just well run.
You mean the tournament that we're at right now?
Or a previous
Sorry.
one?
Sorry, Crash.
Oh, okay.
Sword Crush blazed incredibly impressively through their experimental format. It was maybe the best, judging, scoring, getting people through, everyone understanding the rules that I've ever seen. It was fantastic. They do an incredible job there. Such a clean shop.
I think she managed to get that thrust.
Maybe an offhand parry and then, or a post back. It's always really fun to see people on their way to receiving a thrust, shifting their body weight back, successfully parrying, and then extending back out into a thrust.
I have no idea where that thrust,
No.
that cut was
Maybe
supposed to
that was
go.
But yeah, I mean, Piper just didn't even move. She's like,
See
nah,
a little
it's not going to hit me.
Floor tapping, yeah.
Cut to leg? That was a hard angle for us, folks. Sorry, we can't see terribly well.
Both fencers look like they're feeling a little bit of pressure right now that I didn't see in that very first exchange. Oh,
That might have been a low priority cut.
I think
Yeah.
the elbow.
Yeah, that's looking like both of the judges are saying low priority cut. So that's only 1 point.
That is
Piper
beautiful.
aggressively trying to take that back.
May have been a double, though I'll always commend a Pasada Soto when it's not done on a feint.
Yeah.
I've done that.
So real. Sage is taking a very
Sage is dealing with a little bit
retracted
of-
guard.
The floor is pretty slippery. Oh,
Ooh, interesting block there.
That did not look like anything.
decent
And-
amount of offhand, parrying may have prevented a cut coming back up. But
Yeah, like an afterblow.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they gave her 3 points.
Time.
All right, who have we got next? Rochelle and
Is Lizard back up? Yep.
Elizabeth.
Woo! Gotta say, love her fencing jacket.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Nicely tailored.
we know these people. Who do you think is taking this?
It's honestly hard to say.
Rochelle is such a hard opponent. Like, Elizabeth is
has it.
great, but
For some reason, I feel like Elizabeth might surprise us.
I want to put it with Elizabeth right now, though I know
I'm going to say Rochelle, but
you can't change your hands.
Lizard could take it. I can see it.
Yeah.
It's not
Elizabeth
inconceivable.
may have some really nice disengages in there.
ooh,
Depends.
Oh?
thrust to torso?
The rings are really, really, really small. People are starting off at a measure that I would be uncomfortable starting my fencing from already. There's not a lot of room to do kind of classical Italian fencing at this joint, and I know that that is something that Elizabeth is probably more experienced with than most people, having attended Arthur Henry's class.
Yes. Arthur is actually one of the judges right now. And trust us, folks,
No,
he
he's
is
not.
going to be impartial.
Yes.
He is a taskmaster when it comes to classes.
Yes, he's very objective.
All right. Rochelle takes a 1-point lead.
Nice, nothing done so far. May have been something. for
No,
sure.
Lizard has a 1-point lead.
Oh, that's right.
Elizabeth is an incredibly clean fencer.
Mhm.
Even if she does long sword, small sword, and now rapier, and everything she competes in, it's very. Even if she loses the match, her fencing is always very clean.
It's hard to get a afterblow on Elizabeth because
Yes.
she darts in and darts out so quickly.
Yeah, she's very good at closing out her lines and getting out of there before an afterblow can.
And she's
Now-
excellent at sinking a deep committed thrust that hits you so fast.
Rochelle might end up being a victim of the clock running while discussing.
Oh, the point amount switched. What happened?
Maybe I was right.
Maybe.
Oh, okay, bringing it back online. And, ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Mm,
Is that?
Elizabeth took an offensive action just a bit too early. That's a double.
Double. Okay. Yeah.
Though, was it a high priority double? Like with Rochelle hitting head and Elizabeth hitting knee? Oh,
No, I saw her going for the torso.
that may have stuck in into the shoulder of Elizabeth's jacket.
If that was, that initial thrust was passe.
Yeah, I was about
Rochelle
to say.
failed
Wonderful.
to get a cut in.
Well done, Lizard.
I think Lizard dropping their body a little bit before
Yeah, that was definitely a
lunging
double.
is helping with preventing.
I don't know if that should have been a double, though. That did not look like a 90-degree arc of movement.
All right, looks like match Elizabeth. Hell yeah.
Haha.
Yeah, you were right.
Huh?
I'm a little biased for like Italian fencing, so I
Nah, really?
I was trying not to be biased because I'm a huge fan of Lizard.
No, I'm
myself.
biased. I am biased on purpose. I'm proud of it. I've got so much bias towards specific fencers and specific styles.
Who's your favorite person here competing today?
Come on.
Loud and proud. Come on, Ronan.
You said it.
Hold on. Let me think about. Let me think about
You
it.
don't need to answer.
Let me think about it. No, I do need to. You asked me a question.
All right, it looks like Lizard's back up.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Kieran.
All right.
No, wait. No,
He's
he's
here
not.
today.
He's not competing.
He is here.
He's here,
But he's not competing.
but he's not competing.
Maybe
Lizard.
something else to start. Oh, yes.
Lizard.
Honestly, totally.
Sorry, Andy.
Wow.
Actually, no, I'm not sorry at all. Why did I say I'm sorry?
A lot of testing actions here. Ooh, that's a ring
oh.
out.
Yep.
Not being very aware of his surroundings there. I will say it is
These
difficult.
rings are weirdly shaped.
Yeah, and also it's like your periphery isn't very good when you're wearing a fencing mask. So you have to be very, very aware of where the edge of the ring is.
Yep. And when you're making those circular actions, it can be really easy to get lost in space in your ring,
Yeah.
especially because it's a diamond shape. So
Oh, that was
I saw that deep bend. Oh,
simultaneous action?
unsure. A
We'll
lot of the
say-
action was blocked for me through the jacket.
Okay, it looks like they gave the point to Lizard.
Lizard did an excellent yielding parry there.
High priority to Sage. Yeah. I think it was a thrust or torso. Still lots of probing actions. They're doing lots of beats and feints there.
They both have fairly low guards. Both probably would rather find the blade than
Yep.
fence from absence, but neither one of them are really giving it.
That was a beautiful thrust, but Elizabeth did take that cut.
oh,
They're both getting very close in measure and only giving themselves tempo to do some sort of simultaneous action.
We're not going to talk about that.
Ooh.
That nice dip into it. Oh, there we go. The Elizabeth classic.
Oh, when you
Pommel
have-
strike.
I think it's when you have like fully encased knees and lower legs, you slide a lot on these floors.
Here's the thing. Pommel strikes, not scoring action.
Yeah, unfortunately, not in Rapier.
Locked in for that one.
Half sword time.
Oh, she's losing her armband there. Hope it
Yes.
doesn't get
Oh,
caught.
beautiful collection. Fantastic parry 6 by Elizabeth. And I believe a thrust.
Yeah, he tried to grab it and sweep it out of the way, but I feel like it's still connected.
I think that it connected. I'm mostly going off of body language.
Oh, good. They're resecuring
But
that.
it looked like Elizabeth had the tempo, free the sword. And then
Elizabeth
really great lunge.
taking a 2-point lead.
And the clock.
And match Elizabeth.
All right. Elizabeth is doing great in pools. It's good to see that the home team is doing well.
Good to see that your favorite fencers do
Yep.
well.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Bias pays off, people. Be more biased
No, please don't.
in all things.
Be open-minded.
Awesome.
Open-mindedly biased. Anyway,
Oh, I missed that. What happened?
something awesome apparently happened.
Everyone clapped.
I was not paying attention.
I was a little bit worried about a blade grab, but with the response from the audience, I don't think that it was one. It may have been a hand parry delivered by Daniel.
I think all the other
I think they
pools
might
are
rely on
finished. I
some
think this is the
self-calling
last
for
pool.
this. Luckily, Diamond Rose is a school that self-calls pretty
Oh, yeah.
consistently, even in tournaments.
Yeah, I've fenced Michael French before, and he is so liberal about his self calls. He's like,
Yeah.
nope, you got me. That-
Super lovely, generous fencer.
Yeah, very generous.
Seeing a little bit of, I think he has an epee foil background from a long, long, long time ago. He's definitely been a modern fencer
okay.
for a long time, but I think we're seeing a little bit of that like alacrity coming from previous experiences.
Ah, and Michael takes
Oh.
it.
All right. Oh, she'd gotten to see a little bit more of that. Daniel and Michael are both excellent fencers who are inclined to do some pretty actions.
I was taking a mental break. My mind was gone. There was no perceiving any fencing there.
When you're watching people in the background instead of what's actually going on
Yep.
in the match.
I'm lost in space. But now I'm not.
Snapped in, laser focused.
Now I'm locked in.
All right, it looks like
No longer
maybe
geeked.
one more match in this pool. Rickson Perez stepping up. Daniel's taking a moment.
I love the last name Aldridge.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of that last name.
Aldridge all the time.
Eldritch. Aldridge. Makes me think of Eldritch, like D&D.
Your first reference for the word Eldridge is D&D?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eldridge Blast.
It's a spell. Warlocks
It
use it
is?
all the time.
Oh, okay.
You pleb. Go
Whoa.
play a game.
What is your
I'm
quickest
sorry.
reference to it? And if you say Baldur's Gate,
Literature?
we're gonna-
Okay.
Eldritch
define
horror?
it.
The genre?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've actually read
Yes.
What's His Face? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Have the whole collection.
Okay, here we go. Sorry. Getting distracted.
Nice. Daniel just kind of establishing constraint or
Yeah.
sort of a gigante sort of thing where his opponent may believe they can push through to that outside line.
So
Usually
nonchalant.
Quite a nice tempting target.
Oh, he took that from the
easy.
outside.
Yes, he did. It's an excellent shot over the arm. A little harder to do on an opponent who's a lot taller than you.
He's really good at preventing his opponent from getting the bind over him. Because usually, in order to get control over
Nice
your opponent's blade,
Acknowledgement.
you want to put your blade on top of theirs. And sometimes that's not very obvious, but the angle of your blade is very important.
Nice. Keeping himself safe. Not quite giving distance.
Whoa.
Nice.
delivering that quick thrust.
Straight down the line. Nice clean shot.
Oh, yeah. Just a boop. Yeah, Daniel's already got 4 points. Oh, they gave 1 to Rickson. Okay. Interesting.
I think a cut to a low target.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Okay. At this point, nice. A few feints in a row. Try for 2, not feeling like he's got anything there. I believe I saw a thrust to the bicep, but it was also while he was leaving. It might not have been enough to be seen or really felt.
Yeah, it might have been insufficient.
Yep. Nice
Now-
invite. Come on. I want your blade. I don't want to go find it myself.
Ooh.
Oh.
That was kind of hard.
Just worried about ringing out, I believe, and that the footwork got really immobile for a second, and the body weight went a little bit too far back.
Yeah, he was really leaning back with that one.
Oh, and a cut to the butt.
Wow, that was very messy.
You know what I'm looking to see that I don't think I've seen enough of?
What, Ronan?
A cut mutated into a thrust. I feel like with this rule set,
Like
there's
fainting
there's
a cut, transforming it into a thrust to deliver, or
Mhm.
yeah.
winding through a cut into a thrust. I feel like people are parrying wide on those
Nice.
cuts.
One more
That was a
thrust over
good
the arm.
thrust.
That was
Yeah.
excellent.
I think Daniel's going to take it then, because that's a deep priority target.
Not a lot of people are fencing German-style rapier, but
Yep.
that is where you would see a lot of that winding around, wouldn't you, Ronan?
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a shame that other systems that end
Yeah.
up cutting don't like to cut and then wind that into a nice clean thrust. I feel like
I think Bolognese and German are the two ones that come to mind for me. For systems
Spaghetti?
who-
Sorry, I always have to make that joke.
Yeah, those two.
Okay,
systems.
it looks like we're at the end of the pools, folks.
Whoa. Really fast.
Yeah. And, yes. So we're going to take a short break now, just like everyone else is, and then we will be back with Rapier Finals, or will it be moving on to Broadsword?
eliminations
Eliminations, okay.
and then finals.
Are finals happening immediately after, or are they at the end of the day?
I think
End
they're
of
at
the
end
day.
Yeah, yeah.
Rough go for anyone who has a slow warm up.
Alrighty. We will be back momentarily. Later.
Stay tuned, folks.
Laters.
Okay, this is unexpected. Hello, folks. This is Robin. It looks like we're doing a sudden death match between Alec Villanueva and Rochelle DeBolt. Were they tied in the standings in pools?
I don't know. You tell me. Sudden death. Here we go.
Did he get the point?
Looks like it. Yep.
And sudden death is just first touch, you instantly die. So, yeah, Alec took that.
That was pretty sudden. Death was pretty expedient there.
So what, I got to know, what is this deciding? Is this a high rank or a low rank getting into elims or not?
Low rank getting into elims, I believe. I think it's just a tie for the 16th place.
Oh, okay. And then we got Patrick and Shannon as well.
All right, so they're only taking the top 16.
Yeah,
So?
Okay, gotcha. So this is deciding 16th place?
This one?
Yeah.
No, this is just a match, I believe.
No, we're not in eliminations yet.
Are we not? I don't know what this is deciding then, if it's...
There were 2 sudden death matches.
Okay, there's
Yeah, this
2
is-
sudden death matches.
That's what I
Why?
was thinking. Yeah, and I think, yeah, Patrick took it.
Okay. Just for seeding reasons. Let me see.
Oh, I braided Shannon's hair this morning.
Okay. What's that got to do with me?
And the perils of long hair while you're a fencer is you have to figure out some way to tuck it into your fencing mask without it sort of misaligning where your fencing mask is sitting on your head.
I just cry about it.
You keep yours back in a little ponytail.
Yeah, and then it sticks, and then I have to fiddle with the ponytail, and then some hair gets ripped out,
Yeah,
and then...
exactly, which is why you should probably braid it.
Yeah, but that's hard.
No, it's not. Do
I don't
takes
know
a
how to
little
do
practice.
that.
you want me to teach you?
Maybe.
All right, so while we are waiting for eliminations to begin, we're going to be running some highlights from all the various pools.
Let's see
so
'em.
There might be something that you didn't catch before on the live stream.
Oh. Ooh. No wonder people clapped for that. Okay. Eliminations will be starting in a moment. In the meantime, this stream is brought to you, in part, by Relic Lanterns. One of our newest sponsors here at Battleborn Blades, Relic Lanterns handcrafts stunning lanterns and detailed dioramas that blend medieval fantasy and historical aesthetics into one magical package. Whether you're a tabletop gamer, a fantasy fan, or just someone who loves unique decor, their work is designed to ignite your imagination. Be sure to check out their booth this weekend or visit them online at reliclanterns.com and bring a little relic magic home. Not part of the ad read. I won one of those the other day, and man, are they great. I put it on my shelf next to my books. It glows. They got little crystals in them. They glow rainbow. So pleasant. Oh, I love mine. They're so detailed, too.
Courtney, eating the sandwich needs to move, otherwise it'll get him. Our squatting judge just needed to move because he was right in the middle of the frame. So he's moving.
Oh, right.
There just can't be anybody standing in the middle of the frame.
Once again. elimination matches should be starting in just a moment.
Move, I gotta fix my focus.
I love waiting. This is great.
Probably somebody standing right in front of it when we turned it on.
Well, they're moving pretty fast, I think.
The focus was
They are. This whole tournament's moving fast. We're ahead of schedule, which, again, I should remind you is exceptionally rare for a HEMA tournament. HEMA tournaments generally don't run ahead of time, ever. In fact, they usually run
And just
below
as
it.
a reminder, Broadsword is going to start at, I believe, 3:45. So we're well ahead of that now that we're in eliminations, and the finals for both Open Rapier and Broadsword are going to be later.
Yes, that is true. So stay tuned. At the end of the day, we're going to see some finals matches.
Yeah, the eliminations should be pretty interesting.
Schedule's great for viewership. Keeps people watching. Thank you, Battleborn. Doing our job for us. We don't have to be entertaining. Just make people wait. They're not making people wait. I'm being facetious. But only because I like being facetious. Anyway. Fencing is happening soon.
Yeah, we've already got, it looks like 2 pools set up.
I'm waiting to get Kevin versus Andrew.
All right, I believe Andrew's matches were requested, so we're...
Andrew's Kevin, so kill 2 birds.
So we'll be staying on this particular pool. Although over to my left, we've got Alec versus Isaac, which I think is going to be a pretty amazing match. So I'm sad we're not putting that on the live stream.
Frown emoji. We'll tell you how it goes, though.
But if you'd like to see it, you can subscribe to our Patreon and get access to all the videos that we take. Because we're recording the whole thing, folks. All of Battleborn.
That you can. And we're cutting them. It's nice, convenient individual videos. No searching around for your matches. So conveniently marketable.
Please like and subscribe both to our channel and to our Patreon. All right, sorry about that. We were a little distracted by the match over here. Looks like Kevin took that first deep target.
All right. Kevin Marikoshi has -3 points. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that was weird.
That was weird. All right. Andrew Bradford takes the lead.
Oh, that was another. I heard that smack.
Kevin pauses just a little bit too long.
So what happened to those 3 points that Kevin had? Was that not correct?
It seems like no.
All right. Well, Andrew's doing very well.
That he is.
Didn't see an exchange there. Doing a lot of cuts.
It looks like Kevin may have had that exchange.
I didn't see the scoring action.
Me neither, but apparently there was one.
Ooh, was that a cut through a block? I feel like Andrew didn't fully block that. He managed to land a cut.
Now, sometimes cuts like that, if they're especially potent, will be called. But sometimes, even if it makes contact, it'll be called parried. Not enough force. There was a thing in the way. All right. We're tied up.
Six.
We're waiting on something. Looks like the table.
Yeah, the table is currently out of screen, so you can't really see what they're doing there. But
It's always the table, man. Oh, 6-6. It's an alien match. What's going on? What?
For eliminations, did we not record the points properly? What does that mean?
That's pulled from. Apparently, it was tied. Andrew took it because of his clean fencing indicator.
Oh, man. Well, there you go, folks. Fence cleanly.
I forgot that that's how that worked.
Woo. It's a close one. That's what it looks like we're swapping over to Michael
Fence
French.
clean and prosper. All right. Current score is 2-3 in favor of Michael French.
I think Aaron just got that thrust, though.
Yeah, the fact that you won with clean exchanges. That's hilarious. Hilarious. As soon as I saw
Oh, maybe Aaron's thrust didn't land. Oh my goodness. Well, Michael self-called that. Looked like it hit his elbow. Okay, yeah, they did give that low priority target to Aaron. And that's another tie, but I guess they broke it with CFI?
Looks like it. CFI is important. Now, I'm not entirely sure who won there.
Yeah, it's unclear.
I guess we'll see. Whoever just won will be moving on.
Yeah, sorry,
Currently,
we
it's
can't
a
tell you.
mystery.
It's not something that the table shares with us. So,
To be fair, the table can't share a lot with us. They do a lot of this stuff manually. Currently, they use a Google Doc.
oh wow.
That and the stopwatch. A little low tech.
But they work very hard. And without them, this tournament could not proceed.
Yes, they are trying their very darndest.
Okay, we're currently on the ring with Amelia Crate and Eric Zone. I don't know if it's still ongoing. Looks like it is. That's unclear.
Amelia Crate does not look to be in the ring.
There's something going on. Maybe we should switch rings. Go and look at something else.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that's fine. You're going to get close, get low. So if this turns off, the password is right there.
Oh.
But otherwise, there you go.
We're currently on a.
Oh, so do a, yeah, while we're waiting for that, do an ad read.
All right.
We're waiting for you to start. There you go.
Here we are. Elizabeth Pettersson versus Ryan Renfro.
Don't worry, Peter will pull out as well as
A lot of hits not quite landing. Some good blocks. Oh, she left herself exposed. Just that little bop on the top of the head.
Now, it doesn't look like this 90-degree arc is being enforced.
Did
It-
it look like less than 90 degrees to you?
100%. Just a little lift and then tap.
Okay, they only give him 1 point for that.
Oh. Maybe it was an uneven exchange?
Wow, Elizabeth blocking all those actions till the very end.
Yep. Doesn't look like she got there in time to parry that last action.
Oh no, they gave it to her.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Misread. It's blues.
It may have been that she got a higher priority target and he got a low priority target, so, you know, the low priority target is ignored.
I believe
Okay,
it was
the high
actually
priority
the table's error.
Okay.
Or at least that's
that
what
looks
Ted is
little
telling me.
insufficient. I feel like maybe Ryan's cut landed, but Elizabeth's was passe. Oh no, the cat's back.
Never left.
All right. Ooh.
Oh.
That was a strong cut to the leg. Oh, okay, I see they did take that away from Elizabeth. So she didn't actually score a high priority target, sorry.
Nope.
And that should be another point for Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Elizabeth might not be moving on.
Yep, they called it.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan took it. Darn it.
Darn.
I was really rooting for her. But, you know, it's quite an achievement to make it into elims in the first place.
This is true.
You're up against a lot of great fencers, and in order to get into that top 15 or 16, it's actually quite difficult.
Well, all right.
All right, we've got Shannon versus Dashiell.
Dashel.
Dashiell? Dashiell?
Dashel.
Dashiell.
Doesn't look like Shannon got that point.
She might have landed a small thrust to the arm.
Either way, it's going to be an uphill battle for Shannon. Or at least, I believe so. Or not. Shannon is performing very well.
Yeah, I saw that thrust arrive. It's a little difficult to see because the judge keeps standing in the way.
Got into a little bit of a shanking match there.
Yeah, you started to see what's so indicative of that is the pulling your rapier back in order to stab again, which is not a very clean thing to do.
Shannon does have a very robust defense, but Shannon's lunges are usually non-existent. Shannon does not seem to be a lunge-heavy individual, and it looks like Shannon's having a hard time making the distance.
God, this guy, this judge keeps standing right in the way.
Oh, yeah.
I can't see the exchange. Driving me nuts.
Can't help themselves. It's in their nature.
Oh, there was a lot of transporting in there.
Self-calling. Oh, poor shit. I think she took a hard hit during that exchange.
Oh, that might have been to her hand.
Ow.
Dashel is a bit of a hard hitter.
Yeah.
Oh, she called herself
That's
out of
all right.
it,
It
out
is
of the match.
perfectly fine to do that. It is completely acceptable, and
Oh, it looks like she's going for ice.
I'm
Yikes.
pretty happy when people do.
Yeah.
Not if they've exchanged something too hard, but having a culture where it's okay to say, I'm done, I don't want to continue, I think is pretty healthy.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, you don't want to experience anything that's negative, but being able to call it.
Oh, it was to the side of her leg.
Oh,
Yikes.
it's
Yeah.
pretty hard to get good knee protection that goes all the way to the side.
Yeah.
As somebody who's taken a leg shot from Dashel, I get it. It is not exactly a pleasant experience.
Would that be ruled as an excessive force? Is that a thing
We'll
in this
see if he
tournament?
receives a warning. I believe there is a system of disincentivizing.
I mean, it was a low priority target to start with, but
This is true.
most fencing tournaments have rules against excessive force. Because that's
So-
not the goal here.
It's not always defined, and I don't think it's usually defined off of like your opponent's experience. So whether or not they choose to continue fencing isn't always an indicator of whether or not it was excessive force. We'll have to see what, if any, decisions are made. There can also be a large emotional element when you get hit pretty hard. I know any hard shot over the shoulders for me, even if it physically wasn't going to hurt me, I may mentally not want to fence the next round. Or I
It's
might even
scary.
more than-
Well, it's really scary because your collarbones are right there. They're very exposed. There isn't a whole lot of like armor besides your jacket
Yeah.
stopping anything because you've got neck protection, you've got chest protection, like hard plastic or metal. But that collarbone right there between your neck and your shoulder is very exposed, and that's a very vulnerable place.
It
a
does
loud
look like
noise.
the director is giving a bit of a talking to Dashel for reeling his cuts.
He can swing pretty heavy and bring the torso into it, lending more force. And when you hit with like the far end of your sword after swinging your body, there is a little bit of a whipping effect, which can intensify the pain that comes from a shot like that.
Yeah. I will say I've gotten shot in the knee before, just like that, and whew,
You've gotten shot in the knee.
I've gotten a shot to the knee, like a cut. I didn't get shot. Sorry, no.
I have also had blows to the knees delivered with such force that you it's pretty easy to get a deep bruise there that you can feel
Yeah.
for a long time.
The one that I got looked like something had exploded inside my leg. It was gruesome.
Yeah, I had a very hard bump on the side of my knee for a long time.
Oof, like a bone bruise.
Yeah, and I did wear knee pads for quite a long time, even during fencing like exchanges and stuff where I probably didn't need to wear them. I've stopped doing it so much, but in part that's because time helps. You kind of forget. All right, and are you okay?
Oh,
Are you all right? Small spill of hot water.
might have to amputate.
I'm fine, folks. Sorry.
Thank the Lord. Anyway. Oh, they're going into their dueling stance. Oh,
Ooh, that was a cool lunge.
I'm disappointed you missed that beginning of the exchange. Oh my good, good
goodness.
Lord.
Went down to a knee.
He's
Oh.
celebrating.
I didn't even know that was tournament legal. I didn't know you could do that.
It's like the most aggressive Posada Soto of all time.
Oh,
Both going for low cuts at the same time. Very funny.
shocked.
I'm gonna get 7 points ahead, 1 point at a time.
Andrew Bradford moment.
And I cut to the knee. And I cut to the knee.
For reference, for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with the terminology used in fencing, pasada soto is, correct me if I'm wrong, Sierra, but it's basically when you full fling your blade forward, your arm goes all the way back, and you almost turn.
That's an incurtada. You're thinking of it's a different technique.
Okay.
Pasada soto is when you almost crouch. Basically, if someone is committed enough, let's say they're aiming for your high line, you can do something called a body parry. You see it a lot. People will keep their legs together and they'll crouch, and someone's tip will just go over their head, and they're able to extend their arm and get a thrust to that person's torso.
Oh, okay.
A more classical pasada soto is sending that back foot out behind you, touching the ground with your left hand.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was
Just to
thinking.
kind of keep balance, maybe spring up a little bit faster. An incurtada is a fantastic choice, sometimes in tournaments as well. If someone is very deeply committed to your inside line, you do a similar action, just a body void or a body parry, to bring your shoulders back and away. Shoot your arm back, twist your body.
You almost twist your body so your back is to your opponent when you do it.
It's almost a back bend. Yeah, but really, you're just trying to bring your body as much as possible to the outside line, away from your opponent's sword.
Yeah.
And stick your own sword out to be able to deliver a thrust.
So pasada soto is to the floor, and incortada is exposing
Like
your back.
corkscrew
Yeah,
style.
like corkscrew, so twisting a lot.
Yeah, pasada soto is usually defensive. Some people, I would also describe the incortada as defensive, just because parries are defensive. Some people will use them aggressively, just in how you can, cover a line.
Jeez, Andrew's like in a half guard right now.
They both started the match in that guard.
All right. So we saw a not quite pasada soto from Andrew Bradford, but you did see those knees bend, body shoots down, sword goes out, and hope to avoid the head and get the touch.
What we did see was a double.
Yeah.
Looks like that match went to Andrew. I guess it paid off.
All right. Hey, that leg cut really helped. Nice. I love when people do the fist bump and stuff. Fantastic.
Yeah, I love to see two fencers, especially after a match, like
Smiling.
hug or shake hands or talk to each other, because that means they both really enjoyed the match that they just had.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really encouraging to see, because it sucks when you're up against an opponent who is just throwing everything into winning, and they don't care about whether or not you're injured or if they're fencing well or cleanly. All they want is to win, and that's just a crappy opponent to go up against. And that's not really what this sport is about.
And some fencers seem to just not enjoy fencing.
Yeah, it's like, why are you here?
Some people should just not be fencing. They seem to be a little bit upset about fencing more often than they end up enjoying it, which is a little funny to me.
It's perfectly okay to enjoy learning fencing, reading about fencing, watching fencing, and not enjoy competing and choose not to do it.
Yeah, for real. I feel like a lot of people don't compete and shouldn't compete because they won't enjoy it. And a lot of people do compete and shouldn't compete because they don't enjoy it.
I will say tournament and competition is very different than a lot of the sort of focus on learning and focus on the art of fencing. It's a very different thing to be in a match against an opponent where you don't know what they're going to do and you have to react instantly.
I think for some people that's their favorite part. They get to feel like they're really testing themselves and the
Oh, it's a
skills that
thrill
they
for
have
sure.
and the practice that they've done. For other people, I think it can be a little bit,
It's nerve-wracking.
yeah, nerve-wracking is the perfect word for it.
Okay, we're going over here to Christopher Soho and Andy Huang.
Sweat towel like a tail off of Andy.
Reminds me of flag football. Ooh.
Yeah, shirts not being an option, or sorry, skins not being an option in HEMA.
Yeah, you definitely would not want to be skins in here. That would be bad.
Though our Ronan Richards has some experience in
Excuse me?
in the live stream.
I thought we were not going to talk about that. Oh, we're talking about the exhibition match. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I have
exhibition
done that.
fairly literally.
Whew.
Boo. Oh. Good slip of the leg by Andy, just shooting the weight back. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Really
it looks
nice,
like
great
he
timing.
really refused his leg and got the headshot.
Excellent. Yeah, Christopher was relentlessly pursuing those knees.
All right.
It's funny when fencers straighten
Watch
up quite a lot to move laterally. Not necessarily.
I did see a clean shot there, but it must have been very fast.
Pretty soon,
His next action is going to be a leg shot. Watch this.
You know Andy pretty well, right?
Yep.
Christopher's left hand. Oh,
Oh.
that was a shot under the arm.
Well, it was a torso cut, which is invalid, I think, in this rule set. But then he did another hit afterward.
Andy seems to be taking a lot of torso cuts, which it's kind of weirding me out.
He's
I
got
don't
a
know why he's
long
doing that.
torso and short legs. Lunging to your passe, having to bring it back.
He does have oddly short legs. That's true.
Well, at least he followed through on that. He was like, "Oh, that didn't connect. Let me do it again."
I think both parties were passe at a certain point. Whoever can with more speed deliver the thrust is going to get the point. Though, looks like Christopher's made it.
Yeah, no. Get out of here. Shoot. Shoot, shoot.
No.
I didn't realize we had that as an option.
That we do.
Oh, sorry, we're coming in mid-match here. Looks like Dash.
Did
was
Andy
really
just
taking it.
lose? Sorry, I forgot.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think Andy lost.
Lamau. Anyway, next match.
Looks like Dash is taking it.
Looks like it.
And you're right.
Oh, yeah.
Dashel
wow.
is taking it.
I feel like last year he made it through elims as well and was fencing for third.
Wow.
Maybe.
Or, possibly.
I
might
vaguely
be
remember that.
misremembering.
All right, do we have any other elims going on? Did we get through them all?
Not seeing any active.
Okay,
fencing.
I think we're moving into the semifinals now, folks.
All right.
All right, here's a little tournament tree here. It's a peek behind the curtain. Oh, no.
Wow.
Sorry, no. You can't see it. We can see it. Okay.
Yes, we're in semifinals.
Yep, we've got Andrew Bradford versus Isaac Humper and Christopher Soho against Dashel Harrison.
Wow.
So we'll cut to that shortly.
All right.
I think they just announced that it's a double elim format for semifinals. So I think the only negative thing really is losing twice.
So can you explain
Though
what the double elimination is?
I think because there's 4 people right now, they're determining who fences for like gold and silver spots versus third and fourth, I believe.
Okay, I see.
So
I
if
did
you-
not understand
if
what was
you-
just said.
If you lose both, I believe you fence for third or fourth. And if you win both, you definitely fence for first and second. I don't know what happens if you win one and lose one. It may come up to like how the rest of your pool shakes out.
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
I know. I really
Where even am I?
All right. Hey, we have something. We should probably put the. Oh, okay. We're not gonna cut in between. All right.
We're going with the popular choice.
Sorry.
I feel like that's.
But in the meantime,
You don't know what people would rather watch.
Battleborn.
Actually, in the live chat.
Oh, but we do know Andrew.
Guys, I'm trying to shill.
Okay. Sorry.
There we go. Battleborn Blades is proud to welcome Gromit's Leathercraft as a sponsor this year. Since 2006, Gromit's has been handcrafting rugged, reliable leather gear for cutlery, martial arts, and reenactment communities. From belts and straps to custom pieces, every item is made by hand, no machines, just craftsmanship. That means no two pieces are alike, and each one brings its own unique character. Looking for leather gear that works hard and looks even better? Visit gromitsleathercraft.com to gear up.
I wonder if they do those camera harnesses. I've seen
I
those
hope.
before. They're really cool.
We didn't make a comment on it, but Isaac Humber did get those 3 points with a cut to the head.
Oh, thank you.
A rare action coming from the elbow for Isaac. Let me just parry that.
He's very French about it, where he's very apathetic.
He seems
about
very
it.
calm.
Yeah.
Almost. He's very relaxed, which I commend.
Almost as if he's bored.
I think it's psychological warfare.
Oh,
He'll
yeah.
scorn if you do an action that he disapproves of, you will be looked at like he disapproved of it.
Is
Cut
ruled as
around.
a cut to head.
Yes, that's what it looked like.
Isaac's running
I
away with
believe
it.
that was a touch to the arm.
Oh, I didn't see anything there.
Andrew swung his arm up a little bit to chamber a cut, and I think on his way, Isaac delivered it while taking a small step back. Though it was a small action, potentially the judges aren't sure what they saw.
Maybe it's insufficient.
It may have also been insufficient, but the exchange did end. We'll see if anyone felt anything, if there's a self-call. Nothing done.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. It looks like Isaac took that point,
Okay.
and that should win him the match.
Yeah, Isaac not not caring whether or not Andrew goes low and tries for that Posada Soto at all.
I don't think there was good edge alignment. I think that's what they're saying as well. It did
Okay,
look.
yeah.
It did look like he hit him with the flat. To be honest with you, he's gonna call probably a leg cut there.
Yeah, edge alignment matters a lot in tournament, folks.
Isaac Humber also making the psychological warfare decision to not fence in a jacket, saying, "Sure, try to hit me. You know I'm gonna parry it."
I didn't even pick up on that. He's not
wearing
jacketed.
a puncture-proof shirt, but if he comes home with some bruises, I think that's the cost of having indomitable amounts of swag.
Does he have chest protection though? Does he have like a
I didn't
plastron?
ask. I don't believe he does. I would say in Diamond Rose, very few people fence with a plastron on.
Okay.
Oh. For
What else
these,
is your
are they
ribcage
doing
for?
Two back-to-back matches?
Back-to-back? To determine... it would have to be to 3, right? If you're going to be really fair about it.
Okay, are they swapping out one fencer?
I think this might be best 2 of
Okay.
3, like it's finals already.
Okay, yeah.
They're going
First
I wasn't
to
sure they were
two.
doing that format.
We'll hope to see if Andrew learns his lesson.
Andrew's got a sword that... Oh, actually, he swapped his sword out, I believe. This one's guard looks a lot smaller. He was using a cup hilt that I was actually able to hold. Very long quillions, kind of Spanish. This one looks like a Castile.
Yes, that looks like the
Castile!
Castile economy rapier.
I feel like Quillians is comparable to Gorget.
Keons?
Queons.
Queons.
Quillons. You have to give up halfway through the word. That's how you.
That's how it's
you do.
French, right? Yeah. Gorge. You have to breathe. Keon.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure what's happening here.
I'm not sure. Maybe they just wanted to give Andrew a little extra practice, little bonus. They are being talked to all together as a group of 4 fencers. I think just because all 4 of them will be fencing in finals.
Looks like it.
Maybe this is something to do with the table. I'm not sure.
I think they have to basically swap dance partners. So. they're-
Okay, so they were supposed to swap then. Maybe they did that on accident. maybe they're not fencing back to back.
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
Cool.
Don't ask me.
The organizers didn't quite let us know exactly how this is going to play out. So
I think I know what's
apologies.
going on with just the bottom two of this are going to be third and fourth place, like
Okay,
competing for that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And Same
Okay.
format as pools, which was, I think, one of the stickier confusion points, because finals do change in format, if memory serves.
It does seem to me that Andrew definitely has the edge in this match. My money's on Andrew right now.
See how he's feeling.
Yeah, I feel like if he changes up some of his strategies, he might be able to win this one.
Andrew, I think, definitely has a lot of variety in what he brings. He should be able to make some smart decisions.
Yeah,
Though,
that-
I
yeah.
believe that was a double.
That's a double.
He does chamber cuts, which, if you're paying attention, can be a little bit of a tell. Though he may be able to pretty effectively use it as a feint because Dashel is so like he wants to go forwards quite a lot. So if you chamber something, it's almost 100% chance that Dashel will see the opening and just go wee.
That is correct.
Whether or not you can defend yourself is. Oh, I thought Andrew got that off
Dashel will just go for it.
wholesale.
That looks like
No,
a pretty
we
good stab to me.
I may have heard that all the way from over here.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, they're across the gym right now.
Dashel,
Seems like that landed,
psychically.
but that's no exchange.
Oh, that was a really nice parry of two by Andrew.
Yeah, and then he just popped over the top
I
there.
think he tried to do a parry six afterwards, but it can be kind of hard to reverse your momentum like that.
They both ran into each other's swords there. Thrusted simultaneously.
Andrew might be getting a little bit nervous when you have to make up points. It can be a hard place to be.
Not sure
But
what's
he
happening
will
to the
still be
scores.
fencing in finals.
Andrew's points suddenly went down, then they went up again. I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, I think for some CFI stuff, they have to enter it and then back it out again, which is why we're seeing raise and go. I did see blade bend there.
Yeah, I think Andrew self-called that.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm a poor betting individual. I should not be gambling.
Yeah. Dashel was cleaner. Kept getting those thrusts. All right.
It's not a
Swap it
sentence
over
I
to
thought
Isaac.
I'd hear.
Oh. Rare.
Oh, there's a self-call
Good
there.
acknowledgement. Wonderful.
Oh, match blue. Wow.
Match blue.
That's very unexpected.
Unexpected again.
Nice. Low points on both sides. We didn't get to see it, but I'm sure they both fought quite defensively.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. That's what I'm saying.
Isaac was fencing so well.
That well.
What else we got on that soundboard? Just chimes.
Okay, so we've got one more match now between Isaac and Dashel.
So this is
Sounds
what
like.
happens when you win one and lose one. I was wondering.
Yeah, so then they
It's a tiebreaker.
yeah, then they fight
Just to
it.
figure out placements for finals. All right. Okay, we get another. I think once a year we see Isaac and Dashel fight. I know we saw it last year. I don't know if it was this deep in the tournament though. It may have been. It may have been deeper.
And just a reminder to those listening at home, there will not be finals matches quite yet. Those will be happening at the end of the day, after Broadsword.
Set a reminder on your phone and go eat dinner.
Subscribe to the channel, get a notification when that stream is starting.
All right, here we go.
Or don't.
Good point.
Be lame.
A lot of changing of angles here.
Isaac is letting Dashel take a little bit of the stronger engagement, but moving him off to say, I'm not going to let you keep that. You don't get to run on me.
But
Did it land, though?
it looks like Isaac's... Oh.
It was a low
all right.
priority. Okay. Low priority cut.
Isaac did motion to give that exchange over.
May have been another low priority touch.
Oh, I think Dashel waved it off. Yep.
Small ring possibly causing a little bit of trouble for Isaac Humber, who looked like he would have rather retreated at that time.
Isaac seems to be a little bit too caught up in his defensive actions.
Dashel is also forcing him to defend consistently on the outside line. Whoa.
Wow.
That is not what I expected at all.
7-0. You know, maybe Isaac's having trouble pairing all those cuts.
I think there are good days and bad days in fencing. It's hard to perform super consistently.
Yeah, that's fair.
And up until now, I don't think Isaac was having a bad day at all, honestly.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he did well in pools, did well in up until this point in eliminations.
All right. So, for finals,
Good.
we've got Isaac Humber versus Andrew Bradford for bronze. And for gold, we have Dashel Harris and Christopher Suhu.
They're fighting for gold and for silver. So I believe at this point we are going to be taking a small break, possibly 15 minutes, maybe less, and then we're going to go over to Broadsword.
That is correct. I am competing in that. I got to get ready. So I'm signing off for now. Later, folks.
We wish you the best of luck. Have fun.
See you at finals.
So just so you know, this stream is going to end because this was a specific live stream for Open Rapier. So we're going to be switching over to another stream called Broadsword. It is on our channel, so all you have to do is go on to the Historical Fencing Network page and pick the Battleborn Broadsword tournament live stream. And we'll see you there.
See you there.